Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate you all being here. If you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, you're welcome as well. And as a quick reminder to all, my focus, my mission here in the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, across all regions. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel, when you choose to hit that like button, when you choose to comment, and when you choose to share the information with friends, associates, and colleagues. And so if you've not yet done so, please subscribe. You find the information beneficial, please hit that like button. Let's hear from you. Love to hear your comments, and be sure to share the information with associates and colleagues. And then for additional ways that you can support the channel, you can check out those links below. And for additional ways to learn more about me and how I can help take your business to that next level, check out those links as well. And so with that said, let's get into our topic here today, and it's how a struggling gym becomes profitable. How a struggling gym business becomes profitable. I want to give you some things to think about. If you're not hitting your numbers, if you're not where you're at, listen up here. These are some things that can make a dramatic difference on what you do. As a matter of fact, if you're a struggling salesperson, you might even listen to some of these too. And instead of comparing it to the business, maybe compare it to you. All right. So number one on my list on how a struggling gym business becomes profitable, and listen to this over and over and over. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. It's all about mindset. Here's the business that you're in, at least the business I suggest you be in, okay? We are in the solutions business. We provide solutions for our customer. They want to lose weight, they want to get in shape. We're going to provide solutions for them. It's the same thing in our business. Sales are down, marketing's not working, staffing isn't doing this, all these things. No problem. We are in the solutions business. Get that mindset changed, because the more you focus on problems, the more problems you're going to get. Okay? Focus on the solutions. This is the business that you're in. This is the business we want everybody in. We're in the solutions business. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. Make that the first thing you do. And once that becomes habit, you'll be surprised how things can change really quick sometimes. Might be a challenge at first, but work on it. You're in the solutions business. That's the business you're in. Not just for your customer, but for you. Hey, we wrote 0 sales yesterday. Okay, what's the solution? Maybe we're going to have an upgrade contest the next day, a one-day upgrade sale. Maybe we're going to have a one-day add-on sale. Okay, maybe this month we're going to let all former members work out for free over the weekend. And we're doing things that create more traffic, create more activity. But the point is, change your mindset, be in the solutions business. Number 2, understand your target market and your ideal client. Understand your target market and your ideal client. Do you know what your target market is? Do you know who your ideal client is? You want to know those things, right? But let me give you some things to think about. And so in most areas, it's going to be about a 3-mile radius, about a 15-minute drive time, and depending on kind of where you are, that can vary. But it's about a 15-minute drive time, about a 3-mile radius. That area, the number of people that reside in that area, 20% of them would be expected to be a member of a gym. It's the number. Okay, plus or minus. That's the number. 20% would be expected to be a member of a gym. And that's who everybody out there is slugging it out for. Okay? And so the first thing you want to know is, what are you doing that's so much better than everybody else? What's your differentiation? Because unless you're really able to show differentiation, or how you're so much better than everybody else, it's the same thing, and it's gonna cause that price to drop. It's gonna come down to money. Okay, so look at that. Here's the other thing that I really want to suggest you look at when you do that kind of an exercise is you have 20% expected to be a member. That's who everybody's marketing to. You've got another 80%. That other 80% is what's referred to as the uncontested market. No one else is going after it. How can you go after it? What can you bring to that audience? Because you know what? Here's what you know for sure. Everybody on the planet wants to look better, feel better, and live longer. Even that 80%. Okay? How do we get them in? Okay? Get your plan together on that. Okay? Number 3, know your objectives and create a plan. Know your objectives and create a plan. Write a plan of action. Now, if you're brand new at this or relatively new, you may have a business plan you're working off of. Are you working on your key components of that business plan every day? Maybe you should be. Okay? If you're not, go back and start looking at that. But you want to have a plan of action. Write this stuff down. If you're not writing it down, it's more of a hope than it is a plan. Okay, write it down. In a manner of speaking, it will give you a sense of having some control over this, but write it down. Think this through. It's hard sometimes for folks to write this down because, quite frankly, not everyone has been used to having to think it through. We just kind of react. We kind of respond. We're kind of that victim of circumstance a little bit. Write a plan of action. You can search this channel, for how to write a plan of action. You'll have the whole thing for you. Okay. The other thing, knowing your objectives. And so my question to you, no matter what your role is in your company, why is this important to you? We ask this of our customer all the time. When Mary comes in, she wants to lose 20 pounds. Why is that important to you? And she'll tell you. Why is this important to you? Understand what that is, because that's where you need to stay focused. Stay focused on that. Now, what is the plan to make this happen? And every month it's a brand new plan. Every single month it's a brand new plan. Okay? And in some cases there's plans within a plan. Maybe a plan for the weekend. Maybe our sales are not as high as we need them to be, and we got a little 2 or 3 day event. And there's a plan for that. Okay? So know your objectives, create a plan. Number 4 on how a struggling gym business becomes profitable. Reduce your cost and prioritize what you pay. Reduce your cost and prioritize what you pay. You want to be doing this all the time. Don't just take for granted maybe that this is the way it needs to be, this is the way it's going to be. You're always looking at this. So let me talk about prioritizing what you pay. Depending on where you're at in that situation of where you're struggling, only pay what keeps you in business. Only pay what keeps you in business. Pay your utilities. Okay? You're going to have to pay those. I'll turn them off. Okay? Maybe your rent. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe there's some leeway. How does that lease read? Okay? Can you be, late a little bit? We'll talk more about that here in a bit. Okay? But prioritize what you pay. Got to pay your people. Got to pay your people. Got to pay them on time as agreed. Reduce your cost. Reduce your cost. So always be looking for ways to reduce cost. Now, let me give you one thing to think about. And I would even say, if you're in that role where you're really struggling, click the link below. Hit me up. I'd be happy to chat with you. Okay, because these can be some difficult times. But reduce your cost. So one of the big problems that facilities have, I'll kind of talk about your rent. Okay, your rent as a percentage to your overall revenue at maturity should be about 15%. Sometimes it can be a little higher depending on other numbers, but you like to see it about 15%. Where's your rent at right now? What is your rent as a percentage of your revenue? I talk to a lot of folks, they're at 50%, they're at 75%. Now, that's tough. Okay, and we have to reduce our cost. We need to. How do we get that down? Well, if you sign the lease, you're probably not going to get the lease renegotiated. But what if you did some sublets inside your gym? What if you did some sublets? Maybe you had a martial arts group wants to sublet your group exercise area. What if you had, maybe one of a mobile phone carrier wanted to have a table inside your facility? What if a car dealership wanted access? What if a chiropractor? I mean, what if you could do some sublets that brought you in an additional $5, $6, $7, $8,000 a month, and effectively lower that rent? That's one way you can do it. Okay, you can even sell advertising, sponsorships. There's other things you can do, but we want to make sure we do them, because in this case, an example I'm giving, if your rent as a percentage is higher than that after you've been in business for 12 months, you've got a problem brewing. You may not even be brewing. You might be right in the middle of it. So we want to get that under control. Number 5, manage your cash flow. Manage your cash flow. I mean, this is really the first thing, on any club that's struggling. First thing we have to do, we have to make sure at the end of business every day we have money in that account. If we have programs that aren't working, if we've got people that are not performing, if we've got things that just haven't taken off, we have to make that decision to eliminate it. Because we need money in the bank every day. We cannot continue to lose money. Okay, and even if you're making it and you're making enough and you got some losers in there, cut your losses. Cut your losses on these things. Number 6, talk to your creditors. Don't ignore them. I talked earlier. Prioritize what you pay, and basically you're going to pay what keeps you in business. It's kind of the rule. But talk to your creditors. Don't ignore these folks. Talk to them. It's one of the best things you can do. Okay, if you don't talk to them, kind of the assumption is you're in default, you're not going to pay. Talk to them. And there's a lot of things. In most cases, I know in turnarounds we've been involved with, we've been able to settle with everybody. Usually it's 50 cents on the dollar, or sometimes even better than that. Okay, but talk to your creditors. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. Number 7, get your business organized. Get your business organized. Get how you do things organized. I talked earlier about writing a plan of action. I would talk about, in terms of kind of organizing how I want this to happen, how do I take this to a whole new level? How do I bring it way up here? How do I do that? Well, how you do that is you change your think. How many sales do you want to make a month right now? It's interesting when I asked that question, well, I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah, maybe 50, maybe 100. How many do you want to make? Okay, how many do you want to make? I want to make 200. I want to make 100, whatever it is. Know what it is, but then what if you doubled it? What if you tripled it? What if you quadrupled it? Change your think. It costs nothing to think big. It's free. And then the second thing that has to happen, just raise your action level to match that new think. So if I want to have that many sales, what's the action plan we're going to have to do? Write it out. Go to work. Okay? Organize your business. There's other things you can talk about here. You can talk about, your accounting, your payroll functions, and actually, you go to our website, go to fmconsulting.net. We're adding companies all the time that we recommend that can really help you kind of outsource some things and really organize what you're doing, make it simpler so that you can focus on, what you want to do best, and that's, driving new revenue and driving new sales into your business. Number 9 on my list of how a struggling gym business becomes profitable, stop wasting time on repetitive tasks. Stop wasting time on repetitive tasks. Here's the thing. If somebody else can do it, let them. Delegation, right? If somebody else can do it, let them. And then automation. Repetitive tasks. Automate it. Automate it. Automate it. Your gym software, your CRMs, there's an awful lot in there you can probably automate immediately, but automate it. Okay, your number one focus here, if you're the owner that's listening right now, stop wasting time on repetitive tasks and delegate. Your number one job as an owner, from my perspective, you want to make sure the phone is ringing, the door is swinging, the email is dinging, and the text is pinging. We need to be driving traffic into that front door. You could have the nicest place in the world and the best people in the world, but if no one's coming in, it's simply not going to matter. With that said, check our link below for, high impact digital marketing. Again, we have programs that can help you do that. Okay. And then number 9, how a struggling gym business becomes profitable. Always focus on member service. Always focus on member service. So member retention, it's either a gigantic opportunity or a gigantic problem. I see too many clubs that are losing 3, 4, 5, 6% a month of their member base. I mean, if you're losing 4%, and with that said, do you know your numbers? You need to. Okay, if you're losing 4%, what's that mean? You're losing about half your member base every year. Half. Think of the pressure that's putting on sales. Putting a lot of pressure on sales. Putting pressure on referrals. Putting pressure on add-ons, on upgrades. It changes a lot of things. Okay, and so on that retention, what if you can get it down? What if you can get it down to 2.5%? Because focus on member service. It's about the member experience. There's a direct correlation between what your attrition is and that member experience. Customer comes in, we want to solve their problem. We want to show them how we can help them lose weight, get off medication. We want to solve their problem. Have we been doing that? Have we been doing that? Okay, look at this as the entertainment business as much as you do as the fitness business. Turn it into a destination location where people go for more than just fitness. Fitness is the big thing, right? But we get entertained. But focus on that member service. Give the customer more than they ever bargained for. Give them more than they ever thought they were going to get. So folks, how a struggling gym business becomes profitable. Take a look. Okay, don't let this go too far. If you're struggling, you're struggling. It's not quite right. Get on this right now. Listen to this video every day. Glean something different from it every day that you can start to implement. Let's get your business back on track. So folks, again, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today. And again, my mission, my focus here in the channel is I want to provide as much information as I can. I want to reach as many people as I can across all regions. And best way I can do it is when you subscribe, when you like, when you comment, and when you share. So if you've not yet done so, hit that subscribe button. And for additional ways you can support the channel, for additional ways that you can learn more about me and how I can help take your business that next level, please check out those links below, and we'll look forward to seeing you all in that next video.